Good morning, good night, and good afternoon. I'm gonna kill the kids at the job I work at. I swear to God, if they touch my goddamn shit again. And then these are the same kids be like, oh, what you playing? Oh, how do you do that? How you do this? And they wonder why I don't like them next to me. Anyway, how is your night? I'm gonna fucking lose it. I ate dinner as I was starting stream, so I'm not hungry. I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me to eat. Don't tell me to drink. I already drunk something. Leave me alone. Y'all literally did not tell me to drink shit yesterday. Don't even. Anyway. To the pain. My pain. And suffering. As always. Can't have shit in this house. Anyway. I can't hear the game again. What the fuck? Did I wonder if it's just my computer. Like, as long as you guys can hear it, I can't hear shit. Yay, the audio's gone. We love it here. We love it here. Wait, y'all hear it? What out of here? What the hold on. Hold up. Game's gonna be a little frozen for a quick second. I need to check some shit. Something ain't right. Hades is at 100. And I can't hear shit. Oh, wait. Oh. I think I figured out why. Oh, yeah. I've been having this problem. What the fuck? Hold on. Yeah, welcome to my attack is fucking broken. And I don't know why. Wait, now y'all don't? Ah, shit. And now you guys don't. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Great. What the y'all just... Okay. So, just before you fix it... Oh, that's because I clicked out of the game. That's because I clicked out of it. Don't worry about... Oh, fuck. Why is it F10? Ha! Oh, in a circle? Did I fix it? I fixed it. Jesus Christ. That's a bug. I might need to report that one. Can you hear it now, though? Oh, yeah, I gotta rebuy everything.
The rod of fishing. What shall the rivers yield to us?
Do make good use of that.
I go fishing now. I can go fishing now. I'm sorry. I can go fishing now.
A matter of time. Our cauldron.
Right. I didn't want to buy that because of the fabric. Fuck.
I'm sorry to say that I'm French.
Anyway. God damn it. Right.
The spade.
Hold on. Let me make sure I have my shit back. Ugh. Can I say fuck my life? Okay. I need one nightshade. And fucking 15 pieces of fucking paper. Anyway. Yeah, the kids... Yeah, welcome to the kids fucked up my run because, they decided to touch my computer. And I told them not to do that shit.
speaking, I suppose. After we put the Titans in their place, though, he went down into your underworld and I drifted away like a spark from a flame.
Fired up. Some seeds.
Nah.
Not an option.
Nah. See, the thing is, these kids are brats.
Test my patience. Enough of this.
But welcome to working with kids. This won't be a thing any longer, to be honest with you. Nope. They don't know no better. But those are kids.
No, you don't.
God damn it! I don't want to be summoned. Fine.
Chaos seeks me.
Like the badgering question is tolerable nearly. Yeah, the questions are fine. I don't mind explaining until they start asking the same question over and over again after I explained it. Anyway, Chaos got to glow up. I don't want to talk about it.
In the infinite abyss. So I have seen that the servant of the three fates found you in that hidden place. He relayed to you a secret, did he not? Respond.
You mean Moros? His secret was about the surface, about how I can survive up there. I know this goes against the Fates' designs, but Olympus needs me. And to achieve my task, I need them.
I see. As you may know, I am uninterested in the fates having undue.
Oh no, they looking fine. Cause Chaos is the mother and father of all creation, so
They like it or not.
Chaos be looking good.
This can grow into exactly what I need.
And it's time not to know where. Oh, cool. I actually know where I'm going now. Nope, don't want to hear it. Shut up. Hi, Dark Red. These. I hate these damn things.
Think you're better?
Oh, great.
Going to take care of Kronos myself if you can't do it.
Alrighty.
Just fight.
Check your aim.
I'd rather not lose my money, thank you. Thank you. Whew.
Find.
You and your damn magic.
Oh, cool. I didn't need to go that way anyway. See ya.
There.
I mean, yeah, that's just Shinpai though. Oh, this guy wants to fuck. I mean, he's not wrong. And hold on. He's not. I mean, I simped over Thanatos too. Like that's like, yeah, I simped over his ass too. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, when I first played Hades and I saw Thanatos for the first time, I'm not gonna lie. I did my hooping and hollering like everybody fucking else. Okay. Like, oh no, he's hot. I think me and Dave, me and my friend Dave, we literally went stupid over him, so I can't say shit. Like, we needed some help. There was some help that was needed there. Anyway. Come on! Jesus Christ.
Come sit and rest your wings.
I should have gave her the fucking thing.
You don't need to look at me like that. You don't need to look at me at all. Look at the fineries I've made. Silk in every shape and color, see? It's beautiful, isn't it?
It is, Arachne. But to think I could have wronged you with an inadvertent glance just now. It's just I'm concerned for your safety out here.
Oh, there's no need for that. You see, my form included certain benefits. I get to live a long, long time to enjoy it. Besides, just because you found me here doesn't mean just anybody can. Oh, you look wonderful.
Some fate fabric. Each time I pass through Erebus, it's comforting to know I may run into you along the way.
A baby.
Here's something for your lovely lair.
Oh, why this is very sweet. It should attract a host of flies, I think. So thank you very, very much. Now won't you please take this? It's only fair.
Arachne, this is beautiful. Peace, Arachne.
Oh, you.
I could make a run for it.
Do be careful out there.
in my Chaos Boon just then. May moonlight guide you.
No way you could have already stopped Gramps by now, but going after him right when you did, you're buying us some time to put a little wrinkle in his plan. So cheers.
Time to send a message. It's Charon.
That Bowman's good at taking messages, isn't he? Almost like taking corpses down into the underworld like he used to. Nothing to do for those these days. Except to burn.
I sense the elemental essences here now. Shielded up. Moonlight guide us. It must be so frustrating, Lord Charon, watching the dead of Erebus swallow here with no place to go. He'll send them on their way yet.
Soon we'll have a photo for him. The rain just stopped where I lived, unfortunately.
Until then.
There you are.
Headmistress, I'm concerned Kronos may find us. I first encountered him not far beyond these woods.
There are so many passageways to Erebus. It is exceedingly unlikely he shall find the way.
Hold on, I want to get my candy.
You face a greater risk than that right now.
I want my candy. I need some sweet. I haven't had anything sweet all day. Not even a donut. Yeah, we had rain since yesterday. No, this morning. Woo.
Good form. Into the fray, sisters.
Wait! I'm using the tip octave. I'm using the tip that Twisted gave me about her. I need to listen. She didn't say anything.
That's it. Look now.
I'm so tired of this. I wasn't fast enough for this. Fuck.
Tremble beneath the moon.
I would just like to stop being a sheep every 3 seconds.
Triple divide.
That was the armor. No sound? Got her! It's directional audio. It is actually directional audio. I love that.
Hold nothing back as you continue on.
Her voice gets louder in a certain ear while I'm wearing my headphones.
Yes. Into the purse.
Beneath the outer edge of Erebus extends a hidden region of the underworld, known only to few, and navigable only by fewer still.
Let's hope so.
Let me see. Anything to dig? No dig spots? No dig spots? Alright, let's keep going.
The pathway's down. My keepsake's manifest.
Oh!
New keepsake there.
That's such a good thing to have. I'm not gonna get that down. I couldn't get that.
Heading in. The Rim of Oceanus.
Alright, you fuckers, I'm coming for you.
Spots are up.
Damn, is it worth it? It's worth it.
Let's see what's here.
Let's do one more. Oh, see? Work. I'm turning down the quality a little bit because maybe I had it too high because maybe that's why I kept crashing. Okay. Really? Okay, you gotta go. Come here.
Damn it. This is for you.
Fucking with me. Come on, man.
Salutations.
I love I'm pausing and lose my thing.
I draw you down, O Moon.
your light.
I found you, but my light is but a flicker at these depths. You trace the secret path between Poseidon's and your father's realms. What lurks here has no love for either one. The choice is yours.
I like the lunar ray. Oh wait, these.
Twilight curse.
Together we shine.
Ah, that's funny.
You have my light.
Wouldn't that be nice to have? God.
Look what we have here.
There's the song. Whoops, wasn't trying to get caught in this.
The path of stars.
This would I would love to have that one.
Seleni's hidden strength.
Nope. Sorry, I'm about to die. I can't really risk you.
sea, or very close to it. Must be even darker than what you're accustomed to. And the terrible pressure. Not even I can stand it for too long. So how can you?
The ocean's fury.
I'm sorry, Demeter was right there.
Perish.
Then perish.
to fish. Caught.
And then perished.
Doing in those brackish depths, Flower. Even Poseidon has turned his back on what lurks in that corner of the sea. Does such a path truly lead deeper into hell?
I need to start using my specials more. She's getting louder. Nope. Not yet.
I'll slay you all.
Whoop.
Not now.
Whoops, rent out.
What did I say?
Yes! Huh! Thank you! I don't care! I got my Death Defiance back. That's all that matters. Whoa!
It's no use.
That's a lot. Fuck, man! I really don't want to use the Death Defiance that I just got, but it might happen. Woo!
Not good enough.
I don't remember. It is raining where I live at the moment. Like, it's raining hard here, so I do not blame my Wi-Fi going out. Yes, it happened again. We know. All right.
Down we go.
Right.
On with the show.
Just can't get enough of us, can you, lady? Oh, it's okay. Happens to everybody, especially sailors who are just that good. Do you sail?
Your self-confidence is enviable, but I'm only here because I have to get past this ridiculous stage. So why don't we skip the show?
After phase 1, take a break. No, that's Windet. Y'all are hearing Windet in the background. Hold on, where's my remote? I'm watching like Windet's fucking stupid ass videos because I'm bored. Like, it's my background noise. Where's my remote? There it is. My fault. I didn't realize y'all was being that was being picked up. I was watching Windet's fucking Hollow Knight videos.
Oh, I got a better idea. Why don't we start the show? All we needed was a little audience, and we've got you right where we want you.
I know who's first one. You! What the oh god. Drown down, take yours with the gold crown. Drown, drown, take the God that is drown. Thank God I put the subtitles on. I logged this on. Whoa, I'm getting at it. Okay, I remember. That's the AoE. There we go. I remember what you told me. Okay, and that's AoE. Ah, she resisted. She's gonna do it again? No? Drummer's out.
To recharge.
Fuck, I ran into that. Which means I know who's about to get buffed. Not again. I know who's about to get buffed. I know who's getting... The fucking guitarist is getting buffed. Okay. Yes, I am using that to fill back up my magic. It missed. That's fine. She's following me, so. We can talk about how I'm living off of 2 health, right? Drown, down, dig your bones with a rooted ground. Drown, drown.
Save your breath, 'cause tonight you're gonna drown.
Notice something. Range projectiles.
Yeah, I noticed that. Hold on. I love her voice is muffled. I might need to turn off TTS. Kurt, at the moment, the bunny is not, which means I can use them as a, barrier. Not close enough. I need to get rid of you. Can phase 1 hurt me done? No. There we go. No! That's what I was trying to avoid! Okay. Wait, it's phase 2. I should have let her hit me more. I actually should have just used my death bind, but it's fine. I still got 2. This is second phase. Okay. That's fine. The drummer's not that hard to avoid. Yeah, she's not that hard to avoid. I can avoid her better than I can avoid the guitarist. Wait. Haha. Ah! This doesn't work against them. That's right. But I need to get rid of it. This feels like a bad idea. Come on, use it! Thank you. That's fine. We got another one.
I don't think so.
Fuck, I stood on that like an idiot. I need this damn drummer out. Oh, fuck, not again. Fuck, 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 fuck! Wait! I got rid of her! What? Take a break, take a break, take a break. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, Roxy's a free down. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Roxy's a free fucking down. Hold up. Concert encore and get final encore. Understandable. I ran into that like an idiot. Yelling at me. Stay. I ran into that like an idiot. Fuck. Oh god. She is not happy. I knew shit. I knew. Oh my god, what the fuck?
Can't do it.
Oh god, oh god, oh god. Wait! But I can use this! Fuck. There's so many of these damn fish! I'm actually getting overwhelmed. Oh, wait. There's actually too many! Okay, hold on. Bro, this is literally just Splatoon! I fucking hate Splatoon 2! I hate Splatoon 3. Oh my god. At least they only do 1 damage each and don't do a bunch, because that would have been annoying. Golden crown. I need this woman to die. Oh my god. Probably 2 more of those. Fuck. Damn water. This is what actually fuck it. Nah, fuck that. Shut up. God.
That's quite enough of them.
Get me out of here.
A pearl.
I fucking did it. Damn it. It's fine. I don't care. I just want out.
The edge of Oceanus. My keepsake's manifest.
Within a green tinge,
listen, man. My
made their own. A pathway plunges deep into the unknown outskirts of the underworld.
So this is Skiller's little lair, huh?
Get me out of here.
Big drop.
Yes, you can now tell me why you can hear. Yes, you can now tell me why you hear it until because their dressing room is filled with pipe ends. Oh, that makes sense.
Here, Mel.
What the? Okay! Wow, I got sucked into that. Cool! I forgot floor 3. Rain hates my Wi-Fi today. Also, damn, the fact that the stream actually fucking agreed with that shit.
That's more than usual.
I get both? I get both? Yeah, go on. Why do I get both?
It's all so vast.
Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared.
A withered bough. What is that?
Whoa! So for this method, this made me very hard because how many items there is. Ah, I can see.
Myrtle.
I forgot about the roses. I hate this damn thing.
Ooh.
Something new? I don't understand. What do you mean unseal? Oh, that's why. Those don't seem like it's worth it.
Still prizes to be claimed.
What? Oh, I have to get them?
It's stuck.
Why am I forced to get them? What are these? Okay. Why am I forced? That's not fair.
Don't you come near me.
Okay. I do not mind you backseating this floor. I already feel overwhelmed. Can I leave?
Last one.
I'm not allowed to leave. I have to do both. That's bullshit. No! What the fuck is that? Hey, yo, the furries? Why is it covering the whole floor?
Stay where you are.
I can't see. Something's following me. Bro, this ain't worth it.
I can finally go.
Oh, hell! And that's a bot. Check that dead-looking tree at the top. Dead-looking tree. This one?
Should try an incantation back home.
Ah. I guess so. I don't think I'm passing 3. It's either get all these or get this, but she's here. Wow, you're actually recommending me to put on God mode. You know what? All right. I don't know which one to go to, and I really don't know what that boss is. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing the boss fight for my own sanity. Ah! Motherfucker.
A path of golden petals shall guide you.
I might end up getting that one. What the fuck going on here? At least they have a wall of shades to keep me from fucking leaving. That's annoying. I don't trust me going to the mini boss. Come on, man. And then I gotta do, like... So, we can just confirm I'm not making out of here, right? 4 or 5 areas before the boss. Okay. It's not too bad.
Shall I take it?
I don't want to take it, but I'm forced to. Which is fucking annoying.
I've prizes left to claim.
This place is... Can I take these out of order? I'm gonna take these out of order. I'm gonna take them out of order.
Smackers.
Oh, that's the name of them. The dog. Fucking these fucking things, man. doing?
Shadow now.
Wait! Oh.
You appear to be a slow learner.
Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. I made it to fucking floor 3. Fuck you.
Get out of my head.
I made it to floor 3.
Well, that was a decidedly unhappy place, wasn't it?
I don't. If that is a bug, hello? I have questions. Okay. I need one more. Ugh. Or? No.
Back in one piece.
Surprisingly.
Moonlight, guide us.
Aye, that. Ah, you made it to the morning fields. Good. Tartarus is not too far behind. Directly underneath, in fact, but the ingress is a bit of a walk from your...
What is it, King?
A bit of a walk, fraught with soul-devouring demons and other life-hating fiends.
Yeah, the rain is kind of like fucking up my stream right now. Like horribly, and I hate it. Anyway.
That has been my experience.
You are required at your post, Nemesis.
Oh.
Or shall you take to openly defying me just as your sister does? I shudder to think what your mother would say of you two.
It's Kronos. It's Kronos fucking being an ass. Kronos being an ass. As he is.
You have no right to invoke my mother. None of this would be happening had you fulfilled your role as handmaiden and warned her an attack was imminent.
Best watch your mouth or I shall seal it shut. You
Oh, yeah.
continue dwelling on a past you were not witness to, or you may do what is expected of Nyx's daughters. Whatever Eris is up to, your choice.
I am expecting to hear him just tell me to, like, you know, keep myself safe.
This should be possible.
I need this. I need to get him.
All grown up. I have to search the depths of chaos for this. You'll grow up in no time. Take all the time you require.
Like, the way he presents his stuff, I just hear your life means nothing. I just hear it. God damn it.
The crossroads hide the plans and movements of the nightmare-bringing witch and her compatriots. But for how long?
Long enough.
Why are you like this?
I'll just clean this up.
I heard you went up top. Gotta breathe some fresh surface air. What made you go and do a thing like that? Thought you were single-mindedly going after Kronos.
Figured that I might do well with a change of scenery for a bit. Though I'm surprised
I'll
you
check.
got up there yourself, considering how things are.
It does sound pretty exciting, but I'd probably just be getting in the way. From what I hear, Ares has things well in hand up there. Imagine being the god of war right now. You'd be thrilled.
That man is like losing his goddamn shit at the moment.
Your whole family would be in peril.
True.
So?
She does not give a fuck. Okay.
How to find my way in the morning fields? Oskion Katoski.
See that, sisters?
Don't say that. Oh. Why the fuck does everything want to take my fabric? Leave my fabric alone. It's mine. It's mine. Wait. Is that even up? You can give it.
You have pleasant dreams for as long as you slumber. And if and when you finally wake, know that this nectar shall be waiting for you.
Why am I allowed to just give him nectar? Welcome to the House of Hades. I knew exactly what he was about to say.
Wait, welcome to the what?
House of Hades.
Rest easy, son of Nyx.
Wait, was that the God Mode death stream? Or was that just him saying that because I fucking died? Oh?
Now. Ignium, the umbral flames. Incinerate my foes and light my path.
That creepy artifact is yours, kiddo.
The fuck? This is a long range attack, I can tell.
Can't do it.
Wait.
My vigil dust resumes.
Wait! Okay, this might be a little helpful. But for right now, I'll stick with my...
And Oros.
Wait, okay, this weapon has a bullshit upgrade, instantly removing yellow armor. I'm saying this now because it's gonna be nerfed. Not surprised. It might because you died. I think he just came around because I got to a new area and died, and he's a bitch. Anyway. I'm sorry, I hate that man. I have a hatred. But I have a hatred for that man. That one in particular. Also, it's still raining outside. Can you, like, fucking not? I don't have enough.
The Swift Runner. Origination.
Jesus Christ. I'm now going into the minor arcana, quote unquote.
Death.
Shit, this would have been good to have. Fuck.
Night.
If it's like the regular arcana, it's gonna be pretty big. Cause we already have like the major arcana. Something tells me these are minor arcanas. So this thing's gonna be pretty fucking big. Why do I know all this? Don't worry about it. Fucking I know my fucking shit. I'm a tarot card. I like tarot cards. Yeah, 1 free hit in bosses. Wouldn't that be nice? Anyway.
The rains return. Feels even sturdier.
Guardians are bosses. Yeah, I know. Hate these fucking birds. You fucking birds. You know what else I hate? You. Shut up. Don't open your mouth. Shut the fuck.
For me.
Oh yeah, who told me that? Skelly told me that. Skelly already told me that. I hate that I can do that, like, mid-battle.
Old Kronos down. Took 6 of us at least, but we got him. Little wonder he's all sore about it still. We'll just have to dispose of him more thoroughly. Cremation, mayhaps.
I love this lady. She's one of my favorites. I love her. She got grandma vibes. I like her more than my. I love her. How? Bones. I need more bones. How about that paper? Shut up! I told you to shut the fuck up, lady! Shut up! Shut up! I hate her.
Couldn't do it.
I hate that stupid screaming ass. I'm gonna bring fishing pole soon. Whoa!
Steady now.
Hi, Kara.
I've little coin to trade. Death to Kronos.
I can't wait to see what his portrait's gonna look like.
I'll have to see how much Kronos still loves his gold after all this. The good thing about traitors is their loyalties can be bought.
Ah, I see. We already know what I'm getting. The curse, because the curse is good. Okay, that was risky. Good to know that I can still get affected by that. Shut up! My hatred for those fucking...
Awaken your true strength.
Anyway, my hatred for those screaming fucking ladies need to shut the fuck up!
Salutations.
Darkness guide you.
Anyway.
Together shine this night, O moon.
Oh, I ran out of candy.
In the eye at night, watching you grow and train in secrecy, knowing that upon some evenings such as this, we Silver Sisters would make our stand. Shall we go? Which suits you?
Oh, it didn't give it to me this time. Oh, wait. It's this one.
The Twilight Curse is yours to use.
Hey, that's... Don't you start barking in my chat.
Spinning, spinning goes the thread. Warp and waft, warp and waft. Cut it up and fold it. And again.
It's a death cap. Death to Kronos.
You're awfully polite. I don't remember anymore what it was like, having two legs. Only the two. I'm hideous, I know, but I don't fall over myself like I once did. Second nature now, scurrying about.
Don't speak that way. My task would go much faster if I had legs like yours, Arachne.
Save your pity for another soul, my friend. Now then, I've saved some of my softest silk for you.
Oh. Thank you. Cool. This way.
Be well, alright?
Nobody likes Kronos. Fuck Kronos. Kronos is the reason why this place is...
Nemesis.
God damn it. What are you... Oh, did you do the work?
Used to be gold in the underworld, right in its veins. But Kronos turned it into little coins. All over the damn place now.
Lord Charon's going to take care of it soon enough. I give him all the gold I find. Trade for his wares.
Like, Kronos is literally my whole goal.
I think I can do the same if you want to make a deal. Don't worry, any gold I get from you, Charon gets from me.
Oh, it's one of these again. Oh. You give. You take. I don't know why my stream is doing this now. It's kind of pissing me off a little bit. Oh. It's gotta be because it's raining. Because my fucking stream does not. I don't know why it keeps going down at the good times. It fucking hates me. Check Streamlabs? Is something going on with check OBS? What do you mean check OBS? Actually, let me look up something. Maybe I'm not the only one that's crashing with OBS. Hold on. Oh, crash midstream. Here we go. Oh. Okay. That's great. I swear to God, if it's if this thing has updates while I'm streaming, I'm gonna be angry. Windowed. I'm playing windowed. No! I'm playing full screen, but that doesn't affect it. I play all my games full screen. Like, window full screen. Well, what is it? Window full screen? Actually, I'm playing full screen, but that shouldn't affect it. That never affects it. Actually. Yeah. That really didn't do anything. Oh, where did it go? The game's gone. Where did the game go? Game? Oh, shit. God. Fuck. I think I know why I did that. Swap it to borderless? Okay.
Clear.
Oh, it's back. Also, I'm about to check if OBS had an update. Because that actually might be it. Nope, no updates. I'm sorry, Windex explaining. Okay, then why the fuck is it whining and bitching? Who knows? OBS is always whining and bitching about something. Shit, I took off stream elements on my OBS and it hasn't fucked up since. Like, actually, stream elements was the reason why my OBS was... What the fuck was that? Yeah, no, I saw that on my screen too, because I'm watching stream from my phone. What the fuck was that? Why did it only show my eyes for a quick second? I saw that. No, I saw it too. What the fuck? OBS, are you okay? Do we need to talk? That's gonna be in stream. That's gonna be funny. We might need to talk.
My mother's strength.
The cat's back. That's why I needed the fishing pole. For the fucking cat.
Don't be afraid.
Oh my god, I don't feel... Bro, I'm not about to do this mid-stream. What the fuck? Guys, I'm in the middle of a stream at the moment. I'm not about to do that mid-stream. Okay, I'll open my task manager. Oh, I'll delete. Hold on. Shut up. Let's see. I probably need to, like, fully delete the shit off my computer. Like, fully reset that bitch. What's running in the background? Actually. Not counting all of you. What's running in the back? Damn, that's a lot of stuff running in the background. Let's end that. And in this. And in that. And in that. Wow, there's a lot of stuff running in the background. Oh, Steam's window is closed down. I told you I didn't want to do that shit midstream. Y'all need some asking me to do this. You need some asking me to do shit during stream. Actually, I wonder, can I just... Oh god, I think I just figured it out. I didn't know I can hide that.
May moonlight guide you.
I'm tired.
There's not much glory in confronting adversaries one-to-one. I myself invoke shades of the dead to alter the odds. Some may well favor you instead.
Perhaps if I brought with me a
Ugh.
legion of animal
I think
familiars
after
next
this
time,
fight,
mistress.
I'm going
Not that
to
any beast
stop
would bear
because
the fangs of
I'm
you.
fucking tired. My eyes are like, I'm actually growing tired. Like, I'm getting sleepy.
You jest, yet a familiar may be of concern. Now the crossed blades.
Look how much fire damage she took.
Well struck. Sir.
Woods take you.
I literally both grandmama figures. I need to figure out why the fuck this thing keeps stopping. Because this is getting annoying. Oh. So everybody's having the same problem. It's not just me. And no, I'm not switching to fucking Streamlabs for my own fucking sanity. Fuck no. So let's try this. I'm gonna get rid of my PNG. Yeah, everybody's crashing. I'm gonna get rid of my PNG. PNG is just not gonna exist. Shit. Fucking people are saying it's an OBS issue. Like, not Twitch, it's OBS. So, yeah. Ain't that wild. Maybe it's showing no 5. But I'm gonna try it without. It's an OBS issue. It's an OBS issue. It's actually not Twitch. And it's not my Wi-Fi, because I pay my Wi-Fi bill.
What's wrong, Malinois?
This is unfair.
Do bring an animal familiar along next time, if but to keep things livelier for me. We have the means to keep them safe, even in scuffles such as these.
Faith of familiar spirits. They should work on Phrynos, or perhaps...
That cat.
I prevailed.
That fucking cat. The fucking cat that I like. That I need a fish for. I need to go fishing.
Kronos.
Can you, like, leave me the fuck alone? I'm not here for you.
Please help yourself, Michael.
Please shut up. Can I just leave? I don't want to talk to you.
Locked.
Oh, boo. I have to talk to his ass.
You, my girl, are meddling in matters you do not understand. Your father made certain choices. He was bound by them. But you are not. You need not follow in his ruinous path.
The voice changed.
Ruinous? You brought ruin to the underworld and the surface. I'll never accept what you've done. Now enough talk.
How very spirited. You truly think you can stop time? Well then, I would like to see you try.
Then watch this.
What the? Oh. I forgot I can do that. I hate him. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm tired. My fucking head hurts. I know.
There's that rancid scent.
Ew.
Huh.
Okay. I'm tired. Mom, I'm tired. So Twitter spoiled something for me. So actually, there's a character arc which I. Oh. Yeah. I have Hades too, like fucking blocked on Twitter because of that shit. Yeah, it's blocked for me. I'm gonna go to bed. Well, I'm gonna go lay down because my eyes are twitching. Thursday I should be playing Hades really early because I don't have work. But I also have a test to take at 3 p.m. my time. So yeah, I'm gonna like be playing for a while and then I'm gonna go thing. Shit, everybody's fucking playing Hades. Well, not everybody. We're gonna go raid. You know what? We're gonna go raid my friend Botanic. Hold on. Shut the fuck up. We're gonna go raid my friend Botanic Sage because they're also playing Hades. So, the blur at the bottom screen happened. Yeah, don't worry about it. So, you all have a good day, a good night, a good afternoon, depending on where you live at. Remember to eat and stay hydrated because God knows I knew to. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Before this fucking stream decides to crash on me again.